Hello gamers, it's SoftKitty99 and today we're back in Castle Flipper, and this time we're going to be working on the interior of our castle. I'd like to finish off this big throne room first, and then if we've got time we'll continue up into the private quarters for the Queen. Let's see, I was talking about having some seats for potential petitioners to sit on over here, because the two big sofas near the throne are likely to be for the advisors to help the king make decisions and give him more information about cases and things. Advise him on the legality of the choices and options he's got, and then the sofas near to the door will be the people waiting to present their case and get a ruling. And then one side of the room I think would be nice to have space for official documents and work to be done. So if the king hands out rulings, then someone would have to be putting them in legal documentation for everybody to sign. And maybe any other workings of the kingdom that need to be done could be done in the offices down here. Maybe the king even works here if he needs to sign papers and things for the kingdom. And if there's any monies to be paid, fines to be collected and things, that could go in here. Desks for paperwork and stuff. We're going to need somewhere to sit and write and work at, aren't we? So we're going to need some nice desks and things. Probably have quite a few books and things. Maybe have like a big book here for like writing down all the rulings and things of the day, and the register of citizens and things maybe. I think it might be nice to have a little bit more decoration in here. We've got these beautiful pots, maybe we could put one at either side here. Just add a little bit more grandeur. I think these seats are a little bit far from the wall, so we might move that back a little. And yes, the throne's further forward because that's the official greeting spot for the king or queen to meet the subjects and everything. Let's have a little bit somewhere. Yeah, carpet. Nice to have carpet for the people to put their feet on, but yeah, not the same as the royal red carpet for people to advance up towards the throne. Yeah, we'll use these more like brown homespun, just for keeping people's feet warm. Do we use the same one here for these? Yeah, I think so. Then it all matches, doesn't it? Uniformity is nice because it all matches and it doesn't clash. And then over this end I think we might do like a big banquet table. But for the doors we probably want something to prevent mud and stuff coming in on wet, rainy, nasty days. And then there's a route out of the back side of the castle through those back doors. So staff and things can sneak in through a different entrance to all the grandees coming in to present themselves. Yeah, so we want some like work tables and maybe storage cabinets and things, don't we? Maybe here in the middle, if it will allow me to put the cabinet across the junction without tipping it up. The base of that looks a little odd, like it's sunk into the ground. Oh, I don't think it's positioned okay though. That's a very nice fancy cabinet. I quite like that. That could do for storage of paperwork and things. And then we can use some of these smaller fancy decorative cabinets as well for doing something similar. Maybe we put more than one. How about we put one either side of the window? That might be quite good. Put more over here. Yeah, I like that. That gives us lots and lots of storage space then, doesn't it? And it doesn't interfere with the decoration we've already put on the walls. That's too small, isn't it? Want something a little bit bigger than that, but we still want it to look quite fancy because we're still in the throne room and it's like official documentation and stuff. So which one looks... That looks like it might have decoration around the side. A little hard to tell from just the outline. At the top there is a little bit more like fancy than your standard. I think we'll have space for 2 sets of these, won't we? And then if we have chairs... no, not sofas. And not easy chairs either. How about these? Because they've got arms and they look quite fancy and they've got a little bit of carving on them. Yeah, and then we'll want one on the opposite side for the petitioner, or for if you've got second person consulting about whatever you're signing. I mean, you could put 2 chairs on one side for if you've got extra people, but I think we'll just do 2. And then we'll, in case people have to wait or you need an extra chair, if it's like a couple that come or 2 business partners that come to talk about something, you could move a chair forward for them, or leave extra space for people waiting to see the official signings and things. I think that would work quite well. I think some official books would be quite good. Let's put them in different positions so they look a little bit different. Even though we know they're exactly identical piles, we'll just change things a little bit. Let's pop one down. That might be the wrong way up. Let's put one over here and let's turn it round and then decide which way up we think they should be. Can't really zoom in. I think that's the right way up, so I think this one's probably the wrong way. So if we rotate that around, there we go. What else do we want in this area? And what else have we got that we can put in this area? Well, we don't have like pens, quills, inkwells and things. That would be quite nice for this specific thing that I'm looking at, but in general a lot of people probably wouldn't have had those around in the medieval period, so I can see why they might not have added that as an option for utilisation. But what else do we have that maybe we could use for like an office space? We could add a little bit of decorative flowers on the cabinets at the side, maybe. Which way round? Oh, they get more flower if you put them that way. Okay. Maybe we could put a candle, I suppose, but is there anything else we could use? Not really seeing anything else I could use. Suggestions, anybody? Oh gosh, they're tall. They're very decorative, aren't they? They're much more like... they're like the huge candlesticks you would probably use like in a church or something, aren't they? That's smaller, isn't it? Is that small? Ah, yeah, that will work on the table. Yeah. I can't think of anything else that I could use on the tables. I think that's probably enough, though. Is there anything else we need in this, like, work, office, official document sort of section? Just have a quick scroll through, see if there's anything else I can think we could use. Could add a few more books, maybe, and one that are not there. That's over this one? Maybe on here, yeah. I think that's the right way around. Yeah, that looks good. Anything else, Kitty? Maybe not. No, I think that's probably not. Oh yes, I think that's going to work. We've got lots of storage space. We've got workspace. We've got a bit of decoration. We've got plenty of light. Yeah, and rugs are just going to get in the way in this working section. So I think that's going to work quite nicely. I like that. I think that's worked out quite well. I'm pleased. Then we've got this big open area, so we do petitions, audiences, and it could potentially be used for official functions, greeting guests, entertaining people, maybe even a bit of a ball if you want to. But its main function is the meeting room, official area. And then over this end, I think what we'll do is we'll put some like banqueting tables in this end section, and then I think that will be like this ground floor, the official part of the castle will be completed. So let's start with some big tables where you could put food and drink and things for the banquets to help make things easier for the wait staff. Now we can either try and squeeze in really long tables, or it might be easier to put two separate quite big tables, because if we're going to try and join them together over the meeting point of the two pieces of floor, it might be very difficult to line them up. When you put things across the junction of the square pieces, sometimes they tilt up and are not quite on the same level as well. We'll try and line them up. Look, let me show you how hard it is to line things up. So this is why I recommend you don't try and line things up, look, because you keep putting it, because the angle for the camera quite often doesn't show you, especially with a really big piece of furniture like this, it tends to look at the wrong bit of the junction. But then when you're even trying to line up the cabinets for like the little kitchen areas, it's really hard to get them to line up. See how it looks like part of it's tilted up because it's at the edge of the piece of floor. So it's really hard really hard to line them up. So I recommend you never try to build something where you're going to have to line things up, because you could spend hours trying to line it up. Look at that. Yeah. Probably better to leave a gap. It's much the wiser thing to do. I mean, I really would like it to be a really long table all joined together for a great big banquet table, but it's going to be very difficult to try and make it look right. If we leave a gap, like we've deliberately left space for the servants to get around the tables, that just looks so much better. Right, so which chair shall we use? Should we use the same one that we used for the desks in our working office space? Or should we use something different? Tempted to use that one because it's quite fancy. Doesn't match the colour of the table. That's the only thing. But if we use those, because of the decoration on them, it looks a little bit more fancy, and with the arms, it's a more swish fancy chair, isn't it? So what we'll do is we'll put two at either side of the table and then one at the two far ends, and not put anything in the centre between the two, so that it still functions as a big table even though there's a gap. Like that. And now we'll check if we've put them in the right place. Now these chairs are a little bit far away, so they can go a little bit closer in. And that I think is going to work quite well. And then we want like candelabras on the table. Because it's in a functional working space, you probably shouldn't leave food and stuff on the table, but I think we might put a few decorative pieces on, just to give it the impression of being used. So we want decorative candelabra that will sit on the table. I think there's a couple of different ones. So there's one there, I think that's the fanciest one. So what we want to do is try to put it roughly in the centre. We're not going to worry too much about everything being perfect, as if I did. the video would be 3 times as long. Right, so put a little bit of the herbs. Oops, didn't put it down. Why did I not put it down? Right, let's put the herbs on for a little bit of fragrance and to remind people we're cooking. And then we'll use a decorative like tureen for serving, and maybe even the fancy bowl that matches for light decoration. Ooh, if I can place it. Thank you. And a second one. Yeah, that'll work quite nicely. I like that. So what foodstuffs and things have we got that would be quite nice? Cheese wheel. I always use the cheese wheel. I love the cheese wheel. And it's just such a good staple food, isn't it? And bread. We always need bread and cheese. It's a big staple for everybody, isn't it? I'll use this nice fancy little pannier. Nice presentation. Oops, I didn't put it down. Try that again, Kitty. Thank you. And one on the other table. There you go. So, working lunch, bread and cheese, see? Maybe a decorative bottle or two to drink. And maybe some nice goblets. That would be enough, wouldn't it? Oops. And should we put that in a different position or something similar? Let's put it there. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So what's a nice decorative goblet? That was quite decorative, that one, isn't it? How about we do that one? So should we try and like put one at each place setting? Yeah, I think the foodstuffs are a little bit closer to one side of the table there, so you could move things around a little bit just to make it a little bit more even, but it's close enough. Because to be honest, we're not most of the time going to be right up close to it, so it's the general impression of the whole room that we're looking for. And that's the last one, I think. I think that's everything we need. Yep, that's kind of what I was thinking of. Yeah, that looks really nice. Can't get the move icon to disappear for a nice picture of it though, but I like that. I think that looks pretty good. Let's look from the other side so that you can see both angles. See what I mean? From that kind of angle you don't particularly notice that the food and stuff isn't exactly lined up centrally. And that, I think, looks really nice. Lovely, I'm very, very pleased with this. That didn't take as long as I thought it was going to either. So that's our official engagements area completed. So if we now move up to the next floor, which is the living quarters for the king and queen and their family and stuff, we have to think about where we're going to put the divisions for the rooms and how we're going to utilise the space a bit. So we've got a balcony through that door there, and then a balcony just off to the left as well. So the end two sections could make a nice either office for the king or a like ladies sitting room, solar, whatever you want to call it. So we could do it that way. I think I might make it the like ladies space, so it could be a sewing room, reading room, just somewhere for the ladies to hang out and stay away from all the official business and have a nice chat with their friends and stuff. Open the door. And then the middle section could be like lounge, and then the far end we could make the king's office, or stairs up to the next level, maybe a bit of a kitchen. I don't know, do we need a separate office for the king? Because now we've made like an office space downstairs, we don't necessarily need that, do we? Again, because of where the trapdoors are, it limits where you can put your chandeliers, so don't fuss about them not being in line, because it's just a fact of the way the roofing works. So we've got 2 doors there. They've both got a balcony outside of them. Like that. That's our fancy little balcony. And the second little balcony there. Now don't forget, when you're placing furniture, where the trapdoors are is notoriously difficult to try and put anything above it. I suppose what you could do is try and put the trapdoors right in the centre of the room and hope that you can fit everything around it. You see what I mean? Look, if you try to put something above the trapdoor, it won't let you. So you've got to plan either where you put your trapdoors or plan your furniture around it. So we could put it there, but it tips it up because of where the trapdoor is. And whatever you do, look, it just tips it up. So we could probably put a decorative cabinet along that wall where we just tried to put the chair, but we need a flat surface for the chair, so we could put it over here. But because of the trapdoors in the floor, it really limits where you can put things, so you've got to think very carefully. Yeah, there's not enough space for 2, is there, because of where the doors are and where the trapdoors are. So I think maybe we have 1 sofa and then maybe add a couple of the chairs. There is a matching one, yeah. I'm picking these grey ones because they've got really, really high backs. So you can kind of lean back into them and they'll still keep you upright and support you. They're often big, comfy chairs that you can sort of relax into and fall into. Yeah, we can get quite a few of those chairs around there actually. So that gives us space for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people to sit. So you could have all your friends there, couldn't you? Like the Queen's Court, maybe the kids. So it gives you options to have lots of people around, doesn't it? Now, can we put a second cabinet in here, or is the trapdoor going to prevent us? So then you could have storage space, so you could keep your needlecraft stuff and books and whatever else hidden away. I just want to see if I can fit 2. I think we can, but we have to be careful with positioning, so we have to make sure we get it in just the right spot. Let's try that again. With a smaller one, maybe. Yeah, that might work better. The large one was just so difficult to place. Now, do we fit in like a book? Can we fit in a book shelf? Do we have enough space between the door and the trapdoor? See, this is why I really wish we had a floor that didn't have a trapdoor in it, because it just would make placing the furniture so much simpler. Because it's quite limiting. There, we've managed a little bookcase. It's not quite what we were hoping for. And there's quite a lot of like dead space now because of where the trapdoors are. See, it won't even let me put a little bench above there, will it? It's kind of falling through the floor. No, I don't want it in the middle of the floor. I want it right under the window, but it won't let me see, so yeah. Not quite what we were hoping for. Now, will it even let me place rugs? Oh, it almost did then, and then it changed. Oh, yeah. Yes. Rotate that round. Yes. Right, so we've got a little rug next to the doors. A little bit of decoration on the walls. Maybe some of these ladies' pictures. Where I'll put it here. That sort of family portrait, that one. And then These are less like family portraits and more artistic paintings. You want to prettify the room a little bit for the ladies. Maybe we'll put a landscape or two in as well. Or maybe a couple of tables for them to put their needlework and their books and maybe drinks and things. How about that? That's quite a nice decorative table for this space here. Oh, why is it all wobbly? Did that go wobbly? Very strange. Interesting. I don't think there's space for the same table in this corner though. I don't think it'll fit. And we can't really move things because then they'll start blocking doorways. So we want something a little bit smaller to fit in the space. No, that's the same sort of size. Maybe we use this fancy decorative one that I used in a lot of places because it's one of my favourites. Yeah, that will work quite well. A bit more decorative stuff, I think. There's some fancy pots that we use quite a lot as well because they're quite decorative. We can maybe even add a book. Let's add some books there. And then the fancy pot there, look. Where shall we put you? How about here? Will you fit? Yeah. And then the other one, can we put that near here? This, we can't put it close to the window because of the trapdoor, and then it's kind of in the way of the door, so maybe here? Yeah, that will work, but then they're not in the way. I want things to look usable as well, you see. I haven't ever really used the curtains. Do you think we can put a curtain at this window? Maybe the darker one. Because we've got all this space because the trapdoor blocks us. Maybe we could actually fit a curtain in here. Might need to move it to line things up. Yeah, it's a little bit. Yeah, it needs to go a little bit to the right to frame the window better. That might work. Yep, that looks pretty good. Well, that works quite well actually. Yeah, it really needs a lot of space though to fit the curtain, doesn't it? Maybe another painting or two, and then we'll probably be quite close to being finished. Let's put the black crest above this one, and then maybe one of the landscapes above the sofa. Maybe that one above the sofa. Now, do we centralise it on the wall or centre it on the... Probably look better if it's sort of centred on the sofa. Yeah. So, do we want more, or is that everywhere pretty much done? I think... Yeah, I think any more would be too much, wouldn't it? So I think that that's the ladies' room done. Unless we can fit a carpet in, but there might be a problem with carpets because of the trapdoors again. Could probably fit one here. Maybe we can fit one here. Oh yeah, that works alright actually, that's good. I think we might be done. And then we'll work on the rest of this floor in the next episode. Hope you've enjoyed today's episode. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. From Soft Kitty 99, goodbye and happy games!